Welcome, Star Wars fans. Here we talk about all things Star Wars with rumors, facts, news, and random shenanigans. Get ready and strap into your Millennium Falcon. This is the Force Choke Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 84 of the Force Choke Podcast. Today we have our full council with Micah, Sarah, Tim is in the background there, and myself, Lewis. Today we're going to be talking about, Micah, contain yourself. We're going to be talking about the communication board, or the board that they had for the High Republic and its foundation. And also we're going to move into chapters 1 and chapter 2 of Light of the Jedi, the kickoff to the High Republic, and our thoughts and opinions about chapters 1 and chapter 2. All right, so who wants to take on this board that they had for the High Republic? We can start with the first section, which is called Fiction, underlined, and they have a whole slew of I guess bullet points there. Sarah, you wanna take that on?
Sure. I mean, okay. So the first one is authentically lived in, and then surprise, diversity, actual ending. I like that. We don't need no fake endings. Feelings, relatable characters, sweeping or epic, and humor, which I think are all good ideas to have.
They're all good ideas.
Yeah, none of those are duds to me.
So I just want to, I don't know, have any of you guys done this in school, in college, or at your place of employment?
In school, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Micah, have you?
I feel like I have, but I try to erase that shit as soon as I can, so I will say yes.
Oh, go ahead. Okay, Tim, how about you?
Probably not as often as you guys.
Okay. So I've done this in college, and I've done this at at my place of work as well. Whether it be selling a product or pitching an idea, coming up with strategies, things of that nature, or maybe making a logo or something like that. What do you want it to be about? You know what I mean? And that's what this board is all about. This is specifically coming from the story group comprised of High Republic authors and writers. Okay. So under fiction, why don't we take the first three? Because ironically, those are the first three ideas that they had about the High Republic. Micah, talk to me about what you think about the first three. Authentically lived in, they want surprise, and they want diversity.
Well, obviously they want a story that people you relate to, at least surprising the authentically lived in aspect. Something that, it may be in a galaxy far, far away, but it's like it's not such a stretch that maybe this is, genuine in its story. Surprise factor. Who doesn't like a good surprise, right? But maybe it kind of between that and diversity is looking for something different that they haven't seen in the Star Wars universe in itself, but also maybe more encompassing to the different viewers, readers, watchers of Star Wars in itself. Being that we are talking about Disney Star Wars and it's a new, like they're trying to get new fans, like almost as if the new trilogy series was about kind of like bringing in new people, new viewers to their stuff. So I mean, I get it. Like if that's what you're trying to do, you're trying to widen your fan base, if you will, while also making it appealing. Maybe.
So I'm gonna rewind just a little bit, because this board, I can almost guarantee you, is not the full board that they used. I can almost guarantee you that they were on a dry erase board prior to this and had more ideas, and their top ideas made it to this board in the order that they thought was most important. So
Top of
that's
the
the
board
way
is most important, you're saying?
from top to bottom is going to
Mhm.
be
Yeah.
of most importance to the bottom of the board, least importance.
Yeah.
So I want you guys to take on this board in that aspect.
Okay.
So authentically lived in, surprises, and diversity. Those are all great things, right?
Hmm.
So Sarah, why don't you take the next three things?
Okay. So, actual ending, feelings, and relatable characters. Uh, an actual ending does sound good, right? Closure always sounds good.
Wait, I'm going to
Um,
stop you right there.
oh, sorry. Okay.
There is going to be an actual ending to this because on the last podcast that you were out on vacation on,
Mm-hmm.
Micah said that he's kind of most interested in seeing the Acolyte, which is going to be a Disney Plus series or miniseries. He's most
Okay.
interested in that. I've recently heard that that is going to be the ending of the High Republic era and moving
Okay.
us into what we know now as the Skywalker era. So
Okay.
that's probably going to be your ending there.
Cool. So,
I don't
yeah.
know if
So
anybody else has heard
something.
that.
No, I hadn't.
Okay. Yeah.
So that'll be their actual ending then. Um, feelings. Feelings drive a story.
Mhm.
Um,
Somebody agrees.
yes. Anakin agrees. Um, relatable characters, right? You don't read or watch or that grabs attention. You don't show interest in something that doesn't appeal to you, right? So that'd be good. Some good relatable. I mean, they have a lot to accomplish though if they're going with diversity and relatable characters, packing that up.
Yes.
But I mean, if they can pull it off, that's great.
Yeah. Because being diverse means you're different,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
How are you going to relate? Yeah. So that's going to be a challenge there.
Mhm.
Tim, why don't you take the last two? Sweeping and epic and humor, which are the least most important to this story group.
The least most important is. Yeah, I would agree. Least most important is humor. Why would they put humor whenever it's like you always have some kind of humor in all the Star Wars movies and shows. There's always something there. Like, why mention that on the board? Like, are you gonna add like some different kind of humor? Make it more characters who are more sarcastic and you're supposed to laugh at that, or are you gonna put more dad jokes that are like cheese funny? Uh, uh, I don't know. Like, why put humor up there on the board? I guess that would be least. But sweeping and epic, that's also like another obvious one. Star Wars is always supposed to be an epic um, storytelling from beginning to end. Don't always get swept away, but maybe that's something that they can work on in their fiction. Um, yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts on that, real quick on that. Uh, I guess the sweeping would probably be the most they need to work on out of those three.
So I'm curious, would anybody move anything from the top, from the bottom or the middle to the top? Like for me, for instance, I would have moved sweeping and epic to number two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's more like authentically lived in, sweeping and epic, big surprises, and then you can go from there. I don't know. What about you guys? I want your honest opinion.
Mm,
I just
What do you think the surprises are? Like what? It's always been Star Wars is maybe they put surprise as the number two because like everybody knows like the number one surprise was the Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker thing. So it's like, can we make that happen again? Like, let's keep it going with more surprises like that, which they did with Mandalorian, right? With Luke Skywalker at the end, and
Yeah.
John Favreau and everybody hid that from them.
Yeah, we'll talk
But
about that a little
but
bit later.
if it's up on the whiteboard, then they're open to more surprises like that. Because I thought they were upset that they did that, but I guess not.
yeah, I'm not sure. I know this is supposed to be a starting point, but I mean, I feel like Tim had a good point. Is that a lot of these things in nature seem redundant because it's like these are inherent things, you know, not independent of just simply it being Star Wars, but it's like there are some very apparent things on here, and
mhm.
it's like, are you going to double down on that? Are you going to try to introduce more of that? Like, what's your goal by making sure that it's a bullet point, like a central focus, by introducing it to this list? Uh, I don't know, because I just read this and I mean, obviously, there's a couple things that stick out to me that you want to see in a story that you know is fiction. As Lewis said, sweeping and epic, you want it to be authentically lived in, relatable characters. These are things that you need to drive the stories for you to feel connected to it, that you will continue to, whether it's reading it or watching it, right? Like you have to
Yeah.
feel like either it's a really good story or that like I understand this person, like I want to see what happens to them. But just I'm not trying to trash it. Like I don't feel like it probably was as much of a part of the process when these things did happen in school. But I just feel like while these are starting points, I just also kind of feel like I can just write the
Redundant.
word "duh" next to it. Like I'm not trying to attack it. This I mean I'm not a
I,
writer, so like maybe this is just part of the process to kick things off. But I just see this and I'm like, okay, yeah, duh, duh, duh. Like I don't know. That's just kind of my take.
yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to have Tim start on the middle part of the list. In the
Actual
middle part of the list,
endings.
the top has a Star Wars with a heart next to it. All right, Tim, we do you have it in front of you to read off, or do you need me to read it off?
Yeah, I do have it in front of me to read off. So we
Okay,
got
sweet.
Star Wars with the heart next to it, to be cute and everything. All right. So, so they got the first bullet. Star Wars, not war, which is not pro war. I'll come back to that. Okay, droids,
Yeah.
scope, and mythic part of Star Wars, space and lightsaber battles. What is this? No single main character? Is that what that says?
That's
Mhm.
what that says.
I saw Lewis's look
Part
like
of the
that.
diversity and relatable characters.
Okay, and then we got the force near the bottom and complicated monsters. With these monsters probably have feelings in the fiction here.
Well, we talked a little bit
Emotionally
about that.
complicated.
Uh, we
Would it
talked
be?
about that. Those are the Sith plants,
The Sith
Right.
plants?
and we'll
The
talk about that more as the chapters go along
Doesn't that?
in
okay.
Oh, sorry.
in the High Republic. So
But this board is in general Star Wars though. It's not just the High Republic.
Oh
no,
no,
this
it
is
is. It is now.
this is the like I said, these were the story writers and story creators specifically from the High Republic
Okay,
to what are they going to do with the High Republic? This is the board they came up with.
this is what they got.
Yeah. Like I said,
So
from most important to least important, going from top to bottom.
I
their
just have to.
biggest,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Tim's gonna say it. No, no, no. Go
Well,
ahead, Tim. You're gonna say it. I know you.
their biggest point here on the top is for Star Wars to get their message across to everyone that it is not pro-war. So we got a war movie. We got a war type of show that's gonna tell everybody we are not pro-war, is what I'm looking at. And I don't think it's about showing it. Yeah, we got to show about, this is a movie, this epic movie. It has a war between these two or three things. But that's the story you're supposed to tell. You're telling this war story. But then they got to let everybody know, well, we're not pro-war, but we have this story to tell you. So with this they're gonna have this actual ending where they put down in their fiction, this actual ending in their fiction, which will probably in the end, you always get that message, and that message is gonna be, oh well, we did all of this for you, but we're letting you know we're not pro-war. Great, thank
George
you.
Lucas is pro war.
We maybe that's for the kids who don't get it and just think like, yeah, it's fun to have war, but
I'm curious on your thoughts, Sarah, on that first
I
bullet right there.
think so. Maybe they're trying to take it in a direction where the characters aren't pro-war. Maybe they're gonna go down the road where it's like more of the, I don't know, because I feel like Luke Skywalker was already a little guy who lost a lot because of the war. But maybe they'll go down a route where it's like a small town who really like loses everything, like their people, their way of life, all of this stuff to war, and maybe they're not even a part of it, Maybe they're just one of those places that gets ravaged by war, and they're just like, we don't want any part of this. We don't. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm.
I, it's hard. It's a hard one to stomach for me, but Micah, I want to hear your comments. Just make it real quick so we can move on with this part of the board.
Well, that's impossible for me, but it seems like they're doubling down on the skewed ideology of the Jedi. We're not pro-war. We don't want to do this. We're peacekeepers. I mean, they say no, not pro-war, right? But then a few bullet points down, they say space and lightsaber battles. They're not talking about using a lightsaber to defend themselves. They're talking about lightsaber battles. Does that
Maybe
seem
fake lightsaber
counterintuitive? What?
battles
Like,
that
I'm
are
not
just
pro-war,
spars
but
for
if you,
fun.
yeah, it's like I'm not
If we're gonna
pro-war, but if you
fight, it's gonna
come
be
fight me,
cool
bro,
things.
like
Yeah.
I just I don't get it. Like it just
Right.
it
So there
I and
are
I have a
battles in a
prediction.
war, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I have a
What?
prediction moving forward with this. They don't like the word war. Yeah. Despite its inherent in the title. Star Wars, plural. Soon in the future, with Disney Star Wars, it's no longer going to be Star Wars. It's going to be SW colon whatever. It'll be SW the High Republic because they want
Like
to
Warner Brothers, WB, SW,
they don't want to
whatever.
completely ruin the identity, and they can't change the name, but they want to move away from the part that is just inherent in
Is
everything in the show.
negatively
Uh,
connotated.
And eventually,
Micah, I'm gonna give you props, Micah, because I've been listening to the internet a lot recently, whether it's YouTube or looking up articles for this podcast we're doing right now. I have not heard anybody say they're going to turn Star Wars into SW, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to take that clip and I'm going to post it today because I think that's a brilliant thought pattern that you had there, man. Oh God!
You got the old LeBron.
That's funny.
No, that
Um,
was really good, man. I hadn't thought of that either. You
Mm-mm.
know.
you know, who's to say that they can't see like in the next 10, 20 years after there's been so much of their content put out and they're pushing the narratives that they want to push out, not for storytelling, but the I hate to say it like this, but the hidden agenda underlying everything, right?
Mhm.
What if it just simply becomes Disney's The High Republic? What if it becomes
Okay.
Disney's?
Like they're gonna. So you know how they started doing a Star Wars story, a Star Wars story, a Star Wars story.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm jumping on the bandwagon, Micah.
Yeah, I just.
I think that's yeah.
Uh,
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
no, I don't want to be right about this one, guys.
I hear you, man.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, so I want to go and move forward with this portion of the board, and then we'll wrap it up with this portion. We'll go to the next part of the board. Sarah, what seems on this board like it's in the wrong spot of importance?
The Force, man.
Thank
And
you. Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say.
yeah.
Why do you think that the Force is way at the bottom like that?
Because nobody cares about the Force anymore. No.
Oh, that's sad.
I'll tell you why if Sarah doesn't.
Oh, go ahead, Micah. I want to know. Talk.
Because as we've mentioned, like with what Ryan Johnson did with episode 8, it's no longer about just hitting the genetic lottery, kind of, if you will. It's about joining the good guys, regardless of who you are, being a rebellion pilot or a rebellion mechanic, or if you just simply will it, I can use the force kind of aspect. It's it's literally the little guy, the person no one knows about, can be the biggest protagonist, if you will, despite them also saying no main characters. I feel like that's
No
their way to try
single
to
main
be in.
characters. No single main characters. So it's
Oh,
gonna
like
be
they
a
all have
group.
like entanglements. I mean, relationships, or
Oh, God.
No, like a group. It'll be like a I don't know, like a team or something. I don't know.
but that's
Don't make
Oh,
it weird.
but that would not be relatable, would it? Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
have
have
one more
friends.
comment, and I'll shut up for a second. Complicated monsters, right? If they're complicated, can they be monsters? This person, this thing, this whatever is not bad. They became bad because of circumstances that happened to him.
So they
If you're
should be
trying to make
complicated
a,
aliens,
well, what I'm saying is that if they're,
creatures.
what I'm
Sorry.
saying is in storytelling, monsters aren't complicated. They're just bad people. So you won't feel bad destroying them, killing them, whatever.
Right. That's what makes them monsters.
I
Exactly.
don't think they meant it in that sense. I think they're just saying creatures, but they used the word monster.
I hate to be the person that says this against you, Sarah,
Damn it.
but these are the top of the top, best of the best. Tim can attest to this. That's what Disney goes for, the best of the best. Is that not right, Tim?
Yes. They go for the
For the
best of the
story.
best. That's why they picked up John Favreau.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Well, I thought you were going to say
these are
that's
the
why you're getting
writers.
Electronic Arts to do games.
Oh,
So,
dude, they got away from that. They went to Ubisoft, so I'm happy for
yeah.
that. They got away from it. God.
Oh man. So Tim, for you, what is out of place on this portion of the board?
For the Star Wars section
Yeah.
still?
Yeah, we're gonna stick with that one and then we're gonna move on real quick after that.
Out of place, out of place, out of place. Uh, droids, why do they have it so high up there?
Because there's always a droid psychic, and they need a new
They got, yeah, but
seller.
why have it number 2? Shouldn't the Force be above the droids?
Many other things
The
should be above the droids.
lightsaber and space battles should be above the droids.
I like how
Mythic
they put
possibly above the
space.
droids.
Oh, never mind.
Just
I get that.
droids should be somewhere in the middle.
Maybe the bottom with complicated monsters.
Uh,
I,
I
I
like
don't.
droids. Uh,
I like droids.
It's maybe they plan on having a. I mean, it says no single main character, but like, if you're gonna make droids important, why not give them a droid main character? Give us a droid that's gonna be the main.
Because that goes against the story, Timothy. We are Legion.
Speaking of going against the story, we're gonna move to the third part of
Depends
the
on how the
board.
story is written.
Micah, you want to take this one on, reading it out, and then we'll dive a little bit more into it.
I'll try to. It's kind of hard to read.
Or maybe I can do it because I got it on the bigger screen on my computer, and then you guys can comment on it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just pitch it to you when I can't read it because some of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of all righty. Go for it.
Third section, Star Wars wishes.
Mm-hmm.
Like wish upon a star, like Santa Claus. I want to whatever. Okay, Star Wars wishes. High Republic, Relic Hunters, University. Does that say dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs with an exclamation
With an
point.
exclamation point.
Okay.
I'm not mad about that one.
Representation / diversity. So we're doubling down on that. Second one, what is that? Something legends.
Arthurian legends.
Oh, set author. Rival houses, Sith Empire, Chaos Agents, and Splinter Group Force users. But no war. Sorry, I'm yelling right now.
All right, Sarah. What feels out of place to you here, and what feels
Not
great?
dinosaurs.
No, no dinosaurs.
University. Are they gonna make like a Jedi university or something?
Okay, stop right there.
University.
I want to pitch a thought that I had because I don't know what they meant by university either.
Yeah.
But I think diversity is for humans and university is for humans and aliens. So we're going to be diverse across species, not only humans. That's what I'm thinking they were trying to.
Oh.
I don't know. What do
Okay.
you guys think?
I think
Diversify.
university is implying a new method of teaching people about getting past things.
Okay. Okay.
Like there's like maybe they're trying to reteach us Star Wars where it's no longer Star Wars.
It's SW story.
It's the Galactic Adventures of Disney and Friends.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Mickey Mouse.
I'm coming out with some bangers today, boys and girls. Ladies.
Bada boom, bada bing. So, Sarah, what do you like on this board, or what do you think should be moved up or down? Or what?
I
Star Wars wishes.
I like that they still have representation and diversity. I just hope they do it with value for the people that they're trying to identify with. Rival houses. Okay.
Yeah, what the fuck is this, Harry Potter?
Harry Potter,
Kind of sounds like Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Tim Puncy Gryffindor. Sorry.
Splinter Group Force users intrigues me. I hope they do it right. I can't get over dinosaurs, man. I want to know what dinosaurs is. Like how they plan on bringing that. Like they're talking about actual dinosaurs, or are they talking about like the elderly dinosaurs? I'm not sure. Yes, I'm doing that on purpose.
It's a 90-year-old man walking around with a cane. Dinosaurs.
Yeah, Jurassic Park. Are we going down that road? What are we
Jurassic
doing?
Park. Yes.
Relic hunters. Help me.
Indiana Jones and space.
Thank you. Jeez. Yes. That's cool.
Kind of like what they've been doing ish with the last
Mm,
trilogy, but
Mm-hmm.
okay. Somebody else now.
All right,
Okay,
Micah.
so let me,
Oh, Tim. Tim's ready. Tim's ready. Tim, tell us what you think about this list. What goes
because
up? What comes down? What needs
coming
to
off
take?
of Sarah talking about relic hunters, I want to say that this whole the university and relic hunters being side by side like that, I think are gonna go together. Only because
Hmm.
Doc, I don't know if you are familiar with Dr. Afra.
A little
Uh,
bit.
she has two droids with her that are like psycho killers, like uh, they're
Psycho
real
Kid.
badasses.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, well, she is from a student at a university, and she is being taught um, about I forgot what subject it is that the professor teaches her. I want to say it's like archaeology or something. Anyways, he has this he does talk about relics and hunting down certain things. Well, she takes that information and goes to get her own uh I guess to do what he couldn't do. And as she gets end up getting like some symbiote. Uh I don't know. It's been a while since I heard that story, but I think that's. I'm not saying Dr. Afra is going to be what this Star Wars Wish is, but it reminds me of that. Um, yeah. So what are you gonna say, Micah?
What was I gonna say? Oh, because Lewis was calling on me. I looks like they threw like a bunch of words, threw it against the wall, and saw what
Dinosaurs.
stuck. Yeah, like what the hell is a dinosaur in Star Wars? Creatures? I think we've had that since the jump.
Uh-huh.
Is it because they found bones? Hold on, got it. They find the bones through the relic hunters at the university because this is school for if you want to be a relic hunter, a bounty hunter, a Jedi, a Sith, whatever, your choice because of representation. Then we're diverse here. At the school, they have rival houses, including
Oh my god.
Chaos Agents and the Empire, but the High Republic as well.
You solved it, man.
But inside the school is Arthurian legends. Yeah,
Uncomplicated monster.
that was a terrible accent. I was going English and Scottish and whatever. Anyway, it just seems like they just took a bunch of cute words that came out and like let's somehow put this there and yeah, Star Wars. Sorry, Star small W Ors. Um,
Hey,
I don't.
I
I'm not
don't feel
entirely
like
sure what
you're.
makes sense of this. Like
Are, okay, so I know Sarah resonates with. Let's take a scope of the entirety of the board, right? Do you resonate with this board, Sarah? A majority of it or not?
Parts of it. Like,
Parts of it?
I mean, like 40%.
About 40%?
50%. About half of it.
About half.
Yes.
Tim, how about you? How much do you resonate
same.
with this?
Same. Before Sarah said it, I was thinking the same thing. Half this board.
And Micah,
I don't know.
20.
This board looks like it was constructed with people who don't know what Star Wars is, and they're trying to hopscotch off of what they know Star Wars to be and change it into what they want.
Star Wars is changing.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but what I am saying, kind of going back to that one video that you encouraged us to watch, Lewis, the little roundtable that they did on Skype talking about the High Republic writers,
mm-hmm.
what they said and like how they were representing themselves, to me, didn't entirely speak that they knew what the hell they were talking about. Like, I mean, Christ, that one woman signed off with the whole "live long and prosper" symbol. Wrong Star Wars, or sorry, wrong Star blank. Like I don't. It just it seems like they're like trying to take this what Star Wars has become and build off of that with maybe the name in the beginning, I guess, and do their own thing. And I'm not gonna even go so far as to say that that's wrong, but we are talking about Star Wars. We're supposed to be talking about what's supposed to be bringing in the new era, if you will, for Star Wars. And I just see this, and yeah, sure, I see some cutesy things on there. I see some inherent things that you would need and what we know Star Wars to be. But I just look at this, and it seems as if this is being constructed in the realm of Star Wars from someone who doesn't know what Star Wars is, and they're trying to hijack that to create what they want. Not with respect to Star Wars, but just simply, I'm going this direction. You follow me now because this is our story and this is what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of, in my personal opinion, I don't represent, whatever, but I don't want to say I don't want to represent y'all's thoughts, but maybe you do see my crazy shenanigans that I'm talking about. But I just simply see this as this almost further validates the notion that there are two different Star Wars right now. There is a Lucas Star Wars, and there's a Disney Star Wars. And I
I
don't
have to say, Micah,
what
I
the
agree
hell I'm
with
looking at.
a lot of your points. And on a percentage wise, I probably resonate with about 35% of this board, mostly because things are out of place. And I have a feeling if you and I were in that meeting and we were sitting in the back like we usually do in meetings, we would be
Kicked
at the
out.
end of this thing, we would have been like, have y'all fucking watched Star Wars?
Yeah.
So we'll see where the High Republic leads us. Sorry for the vulgarity, but that board was quite
Atrocious.
It seems like
there
a
you go.
And
marketing
and I have the highest of hopes,
goal.
right? I'm not against change. I'm really not. And it doesn't have to be a simple reiteration of what we've seen for it to continue to be Star Wars. I see this and I don't really see what Star Wars fundamentally is.
Okay.
Lewis,
But I still have hope.
Lewis,
I hope that maybe they
Mm,
figure something out. But I'm sorry. I
Tim,
gotta put that.
talk to me. Tim.
uh, you know that GIF of Donald Trump where he makes like those four faces in like 3 seconds. That that's you, Lewis, when you saw the board.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
oh yeah.
yeah, for sure. And I was started
I'm appalled.
confused, then
Yeah.
surprised, then I was like, "What?" And then I was kind of angry, and then I was like, "Whatever." So, all right, guys, let's kick off talking about the High Republic. We got about 15 minutes or so. Let's really dive into it. So, I'm going to share with you, I'm going to read the first paragraph in what is the prologue, and then we'll get into starting with chapter 1 and chapter 2. And I'm only going to read this first paragraph because this is the literal kickoff to the High Republic. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on this first paragraph and how it sounds to you. Okay? This is the beginning of the High Republic. The Force is with the galaxy. It is the time of the High Republic, a peaceful union of like-minded worlds where all voices are heard and governance is achieved through consensus, not coercion or fear. It's an era of ambition, of culture, of inclusion, of great works. Visionary Chancellor Lina So leads the Republic from the elegant city world of Coruscant, located near the bright center of the galactic core. So that's the kickoff right there. What do you guys think?
it sounds utopian.
It's probably the happiest Star Wars opening I've heard in a long, like ever. Like most peaceful is what I mean.
Where's the conflict?
It's
There's
coming.
no war, Micah. It's not pro war, man.
Then what the hell is the movie supposed to be about?
It's all about culture.
High I love you. You love me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's the way it begins, right? So let's move into chapter one, right?
So,
And I have about 13 bullet points, on the things that kind of stood out for me for chapter one. Sarah, if you want to kick in, or if you just want to comment, and guys, if you want to comment as well, please do so. Just interject at any time, okay? So chapter one begins literally with saying, these are the first four, one, two, three. These are the first four words, chapter one. 3 hours to impact.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, captain of the ship is called the Legacy Run. She states that all is well. It's time for her to do her rounds. She goes to her lieutenant of the bridge and acknowledges, and they acknowledge the captain. Let's see, that they acknowledge the captain that she's going to go do her rounds. Right. Um, the captain has 30 years in the military. I put a question mark to that because we kicked it off saying that there was unity and harmony and prosperity and like-minded, and but why is there a military?
Peace in my new empire.
I don't know. What did you think about that, Sarah? Since you
Um,
read along.
now, now that you bring it up, I mean, we still have a military without, being in times of war. It's kind of just like a backup.
Hmm.
Or maybe, you gotta crack some eggs to make an omelet. Maybe there was
Hmm.
a big conflict before all of the peace and unity and like-mindedness and yada yada.
Okay, there you go. All right. So the Legacy Run, this ship that is traveling. It's a modular frigate carrying settlers headed to the outer rim to start a new life away from the overpopulated core worlds. The captain mentions to herself that she can't trust hyperspace and that nobody understands it. That was kind of a question mark to me, also. I was like, wait a minute. You're in hyperspace, you don't trust it, and nobody knows how it works.
But you're there.
Yeah, how are you there? That was kind of
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
well, traveling was what different back then in this high era, and they
Well, they're
weren't
using
as
they're using hyperspace lanes just like they did in
yeah.
a
So
new.
there's already. I mean, they have established these hyperspace lanes in that era, and yet
Mhm.
they don't know everything about it.
Yes, that that hyperspace was not trustworthy, and that nobody understood it.
Nobody understands why it's not trustworthy.
Possibly, Micah's face is getting a bigger grimace than what we see. Okay,
I'm
so
trying not to straight up. I'm trying to like, I guess, give it some lead. I don't know. I'm listening. I'm listening.
okay, let's move along. So there are 9,000 settlers on the board this ship called the Legacy Run. The captain's doing her rounds and tells a couple of young passengers to stop trying to hack into the age-restricted hollow recordings. For some reason, there's a vat of liquid tabithina gas on board, highly volatile. I was guessing maybe they're going to use it as fuel wherever they get to. I don't know
Yeah.
why the Tabitha was there, but the story states that everybody was pretty poor, or they would have been able to book better passage on a better ship. All right, then the captain turns to the bridge, returns to the bridge, and alarm blares from the ship immediately as she enters the bridge. The captain returns to the. Oh, I'm sorry. Then there's an object just sitting in hyperspace. So they're traveling at light speed. There's something sitting in hyperspace stationary. And they're going to crash into it in 10 seconds, is the countdown there. We find out the ship, the Legacy Run that they're on, is over 100 years old.
Hmm.
The captain took over steering and somehow evades the object in hyperspace. However, the ship couldn't take the maneuver and begins to break apart. The first officer salutes to the captain and says, "Captain, it's been an..." And at that point, the Legacy Run explodes in hyperspace. That's the end of chapter 1. Okay, Micah, Tim, Sarah, talk to me. What, Sarah? Because you did hear it and listen to it. What were your first initial thoughts on it?
I'd hype.
I
Oh
think
my
that's one of the parts that I
goodness.
fell asleep. No, Tim, talk. Go.
How in hyperspace, traveling in hyperspace. Um, how fast are they really supposed to be going? Because if they're going near the speed of light, or maybe even faster, because based on how they jump from one part of the galaxy to the other so fast, it's faster than light, right? So they're going through this hyperspace, and if they're 10 seconds away from impact, imagine the distance, how far away that thing is before they hit in 10 seconds.
No, you're absolutely right. With the knowledge that we have of space, time, and the speed of light, it would
It
probably be,
it
I
takes
mean,
only
really far out.
it takes only a fraction of a movement. It doesn't have to be a hard move, just like a small angle, like barely. And that angle completely changes the trajectory of like where your ship is gonna go over or around
I
that kind of distance. It's a small object, like freaking thousands and thousands of miles away for 10 seconds.
Couldn't they get out of hyperspace with enough time?
yeah.
Now, Sarah, that was the first thing I thought of, and it's been done in comics. It's been done in other books
Mm-hmm.
prior to this. I think,
I thought
yeah, just get out of hyperspace, right? Just
Yeah.
stop the ship.
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem counterintuitive the notion of there being a stationary object in a hyperspace lane? Because
Well, nobody
if you're
knows much
talking,
about it.
you got a flat tire.
apparently we don't know much about Star Wars either. Um, that isn't. I don't know. Like it doesn't a stationary object in a hyperspace lane. It's canon, so I guess we have to go off of that. Han Solo is able to jump out of that freighter and the Force Awakens, essentially going through a wall, jump into hyperspace. So if that object is literally stationary, then why couldn't they just simply go through it? How is it in the hyperspace lane if they're going that fast? Or are you going to say, or if there's different, like kind of what Tim was saying, like how fast are you going? I don't know if they've ever necessarily put some kind of like computational like numbers to that, but is there certain degrees? Can you go faster than hyperspace where they're going faster than hyperspace? This thing is only going at hyperspace to be in the hyperspace lane. And it's still such a huge difference where they're still going to collide. A lot of that doesn't make sense to me. Like, maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I am. I don't know. But that just kind of seems like, hey, what if this happens? Well, that in Star Wars anyway, like that wouldn't.
Hmm.
I get you need to create some kind of conflict, or whatever. But also, like, if you're taking a ship with hundreds of settlers, new settlers, um, are you really going to jump into a ship that you know won't make it, or you're going on a dangerous path, assuming that it's okay?
Mm.
If everything's peaceful,
So
Mm.
I'm gonna explain something that I didn't hear. I'll interject. So they were saying that this hyperlane that they were taking was almost like, quote unquote, this is how they said it, a milk run. So like the milkman delivers to your house a milk every day, nothing out of the ordinary. This hyperlane was supposed to
Mm.
be um, just run of the mill. You delivering the mail. There is nothing supposed to be anything spectacular, dangerous, or menacing about this hyperlane.
So then why do they start off the story saying no one knows what the hell this is? Or no one knows how to navigate it. No one knows if it's safe. Do you see what I mean? Is like there's some kind
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
counterproductive notion in the story that you just rambled off, and this is the first chapter of the first book,
Mm,
right?
no.
Yes, this is first chapter of the first book, the kickoff story.
Mm.
All right. Well, we know where Micah stands, I think, just from the visual cues. If you're listening on Spreaker or iHeart, the contortions on his face, I did not think were possible. Sarah, did you like this first chapter?
Um.
I mean, be honest. I
Eh.
mean,
Eh.
yeah.
Eh.
Tim, did you like it or not? From what we're telling you.
It wasn't enough material to say so.
Okay. So let's move on to chapter 2. And I know, Tim, you got to get to work here in a little bit. So if you got to go, let us know.
I
Say
do. I got to depart right now. Actually. Um.
okay. And what
Yeah.
I'll do, Tim,
Just
is I'll text you um, this information so you can have it. So the next time we come back, maybe we can chop chapters 3 and 4 and move on from there and continue on.
okay.
So you can at least have that going forward. All right, Tim. We'll talk to you later.
Bye, Timmy.
All right. All right. So let's go into chapter 2. Um, chapter 2 begins with 4 words again: 2 hours to impact. So we're on a planet. There's 2 workers just chatting away, kind of, just chilling. Supposedly, this is a boring planet used for agricultural production. Literally, there's nothing but plants, farmers, and scan techs. We're introduced to a scan tech that's in charge of ships' comings and goings. The other tech with them is pretty bored reading Jedi love stories. Let's see.
Jedi love stories. I just want to make sure I heard that right.
You heard that correctly.
Okay.
So an anomaly appears on their readings from space, but no ships were scheduled for another 20 minutes to arrive. I'm going to stop there because in the novel, it literally says that another ship wasn't scheduled to arrive for another 20 minutes. Okay, guys. I don't like I said in the last podcast, I don't like to bash, but when have you ever heard somebody in Star Wars say, "Oh, we're going to be there in 20 minutes. We're going to be there in 12 parsecs. We're going to be there
Yeah.
in the next rotation. We're going to be there on the next cycle." I was like, 20 minutes? What?
The hell's a minute?
No.
Yeah, So moving along. Um, so this anomaly in space, they think it might be a ship or an asteroid. All of a sudden, 40 more anomalies appear on their screen, moving through space near light speed and not slowing down. So on this planet, I thought this was interesting too. The only thing on this, the only thing famous about the planet that they're on is that it's the home world of a singer that became famous for being able to vibrate her vocal cords in 6 different harmonies at a time. This reminded me of the Fifth Element.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have seen that or not. I think Micah has, or Sarah, you have.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a character like that on the Fifth Element?
Yeah.
Yeah, like those
Yes.
10
The opera
tentacles.
Yeah.
singer.
Yeah. She was blue.
Pablo
Yeah.
Guna or something like that.
Yes, right. So she doesn't live there anymore. She lives on Alderaan now, in case you guys wanted to know.
You know what
So
happened to
again,
that place? Wink.
right? So even more anomalies appear on their screen. Some fragments were headed to the sun of that planet. Those two workers agreed they needed to leave the planet, but before they were get going, they send off a warning signal to the entire system. Uh, One object enters their planet at light speed. It hits the scanning station that those two workers were on, and the kinetic energy from the object atomizes everything it touches in an instant. Um, the scan techs never made it to their shuttle to escape, and they perished. That's the end of chapter 2.
That's depressing.
Micah's face is not moving, but his brain is wiggling. I can feel it.
I think my
Sarah,
brain
did you
is
like?
spazzing.
Sarah,
um,
what did you think about this chapter? Chapter 2, getting more into the book.
so I'm gonna bring up what Micah kind of sneered at about the Jedi romance novels.
Yes.
Jedi's ain't supposed to get romantic.
Mm.
So maybe it's just fiction books
Possibly.
or something, works of
That's a
fiction.
possibility.
I don't know, but mm, not really vibing with it so far.
Micah, talk
I'm
to
just
me. Brother.
I'm just wondering how quickly with this I don't know if you can see it, that whiteboard thing.
Oh, yes,
How many
yes,
of these can we check off already?
We have
Authentically
feelings.
listen. No. Surprise. I am surprised. Feelings. I'm feeling something right now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is me hearing what y'all are talking about. I guess I need to try to listen to it as well, even though it sounds like it's going to be harder for me than y'all because y'all managed to get through it.
I'll tell you this. The audio book that I shared with y'all, the individual, the gentleman reading the book, has, like Sarah said, a really great voice. He reads it really, really nicely. Yeah.
Just
So
because someone is charismatic and a good storyteller doesn't mean they're telling a good story.
yeah.
He put me
That's
to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, what I was going to say, Micah, is that I really tried to hit on everything that happened for you guys. In case you decided, I ain't gonna read it. At least you could hear the main points. You know what I mean? If I do hope you go back and at least read chapter 1 once again. Maybe I'm full of crap. The I've put out there in social media that I didn't like issue 1 of the High Republic comic book. I really didn't like it. I didn't care for the art. I didn't like the story. There was no relatable characters to me. I didn't feel like I was on an adventure. It was just kind of bleh. Was it Star Wars and lightsabers? Yeah, but that's I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. So I was really highly pushed to read the High Republic novel, which is a kickoff, which what we're doing, and I'm still kind of okay. What the heck is this? You know what I mean? So I tried to put in here everything that I thought was important to the story, so you could have some kind of thought process on it.
I'm curious, for the sake of consistently being the resident asshole here on the Force Choke podcast, who greenlit this? Was this Kathleen Kennedy?
This is Kathleen Kennedy's project. Now, Micah, I do want to. This is why I'm scared for the Acolyte, because I think this is the reason why Kathleen Kennedy told Jon Favreau, "No, I'm taking the Acolyte because the Acolyte is going to be the conclusion of the High Republic, which the High Republic is her pet project right now."
Well, it won't be the first time someone else has had to come in and clean up a mess. Um,
Oh, sorry.
maybe,
Oh,
maybe
bam!
Burn.
maybe I am alone in this. Maybe I am just being that much of an asshole. But I just, with everything that we've talked about today, um, I think to reiterate what you said, Lewis, this is questionable, to say the least. And I'm just curious if other people, other Star Wars fans, do also view this as a flop. How much of a flop does it have to be before they're like, we're moving on from this? We're going to redo this. We're just going to kind of be like, retcon it. Someone else takes charge. We replace leadership because there have been things that leadership has done that a lot of people that have already come out, a lot of the content that have come out, a lot of people didn't necessarily care for. And you've had new people that haven't exactly been directed by that leadership, and they've put out things such as The Mandalorian that are phenomenal, that are bringing everyone, Star Wars fans, even new fans, into this. I'm just curious, as an outside uh, perspective looking in, if this is bad, how bad does it have to be before we're like, okay, the times they are changing,
Mhm.
something has to go.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if I'm alone in that. I would hope I don't think I'm alone with that thinking with you, Lewis, at least. But
What do you think, sir?
I don't.
I mean,
Damn it.
so far this
You
isn't great.
okay? We've all established that this just for us, the Force Choke
Yeah,
podcast is we're just kind of like okay, it's Star Wars. Okay, well we're gonna talk about it because it's Star Wars. We're a Star Wars
yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
Just feels like none of us are really feeling it right now, right? So, like Micah said, we're gonna give it a chance. Right now, it's kind of like feeling like a flop. It really is to
Yeah,
me. It is,
yeah.
right.
Hmm.
So before we end this, there's three more things I want to just talk about real quick. Mike, I know you got to go.
No, but I just
Um,
want to iterate something. If you're moving on to another subject, it's
okay,
not
go
so
ahead.
much. It's not so much that the story is a flop if everyone agrees with that consensus or majority agrees with that consensus. It's not so much that this is a flop because this isn't an individual story. This is the
Yeah.
kickoff of the new era, the next era
Right.
that Disney's trying to bring forward. And
Now,
I think that's the point. It's one thing to have episode 7 was good, episode 8 was bad. We need to fix it with episode 9. No, no, no. This is episode 7. This is the benchmark of what's going to be what
Yeah.
is introduced and what's going forward. And if this is your idea, I think that speaks more so to like we don't just have a problem, like we have like like we don't just have an individual problem. We have like a massive problem going forward.
Like it's the
Like, this
system
is
that's
what I'm
messed up,
bringing.
not
Yes.
the
Because
product.
mhm,
yeah, because everything has to build off of this. And if
yeah,
this doesn't work, that's why do you take the etch a sketch and just
hmm
start fresh or so my bad. I didn't
speaking
know
of
if you're
that,
moving to a different topic. That's why I just wanted to
I'm
mention it.
not. I'm not moving to a different topic. We're going to stay on the same topic about the High Republic, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. When you have something like this, the High Republic, and let's say they put out some games and they put out comics, they put out novels, they put out children's books and teen books. You would usually call that a multimedia kind of project, right? Disney has skirted away from multimedia and is now using transmedia verbiage for this product. Sarah's eyebrows were ruffled there for a
So
second.
they're just
Uh,
using that as a synonym?
yes,
Multimedia, transmedia.
yes.
Okay.
So there have been some YouTubers recently, I'd say within the past week or two, that are trashing the High Republic. I don't think we're
Mhm.
trashing the High Republic. I think we're actually giving our honest, sincere opinions. I don't think we're in it to like, you know what? We're going to be the ones that trash the High Republic. So everybody, we can click on
Mhm.
us and subscribe to us and all. We're actually giving our honest opinion. You know what I mean on what we think and what we're seeing. Um, And so some of these YouTubers, you know, are great. They're comical. They're giving their honest opinion as well for the most part. But some of them have, you know, trashed really bad the High Republic, and in turn, the transgender community has bashed them because it's transmedia. So they think that these YouTubers are against the transgender community. So Lucasfilm and the Star Wars group is moving away from the term transmedia back to multimedia because of this backlash. Micah had to take his glasses off. Sarah is cringing. Oh, Bob.
Okay. So why change it in the first place? Why? Because trans is a thing right now. It's an issue. It's a like a hot button issue. So we're gonna make it trans, and it's gonna be hot button like the transit. Like what? What?
Where did this come out?
Why?
Like, was there a press release from Lucasfilm saying we're now calling this transmedia? Like, how was that information released?
That from the YouTubers that I was watching, it was just the verbiage, yeah, that they're going to be using transmedia to get this out to the public,
It was
whether
from
it be comics or games or magazines or whatever. The High Republic was going to use a transmedia to get out the product. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. You know, that's touching base there. We don't really have to go more into that unless you guys want to. There's a couple other bullet points I want to talk to about the High Republic to get your thoughts on as well. I think we know what you guys' thoughts on.
Yeah, I'm just
Micah had
glad
to
that was
take his
short-lived.
glasses off. Yeah, it's very short-lived. Very
Yeah,
short.
that's just not a
Before I
not an A
get
plus there.
canceled, I'm gonna have to put these bad boys back on now.
Put them back on. Okay, so the next big thing I want to talk to about the High Republic is that recently, the High Republic writers said that they were angry over the Grogu name reveal and Luke Skywalker's appearance on The Mandalorian. And on top of that, not only were they angry, but they want a statement from Jon Favreau, from Dave Filoni, with positive comments on the High Republic.
Sorry. Oh my god.
Here's my statement. Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go with the other one, Micah. What is
No.
All right. Go fuck yourself.
You know, about it, not PG, you know, or R, I guess in that case.
Yeah.
No.
The goddamn audacity.
Yeah.
You know, how dare you?
Were they gonna use that name? Is that why?
Well, no. The reason. Wait, Micah. The reason that they said that the reason behind it, Sarah, was because they said, the writers for the High Republic said that it deflated all of the High Republic's momentum of their launching that the Grogu and Luke Skywalker thing happened, and it just deflated, and nobody's interested in the High Republic now.
Was anybody beforehand? Come on.
God! It was the end of the show. It was the end of the season. They had to do something big.
Well, not just that. Like, it's like they're looking for a goddamn scapegoat. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what momentum did it have?
How dare you do that? Now my stuff is bad.
What exactly? Like, how? It's basically like you can't be so good because our bad shit looks worse now. Like, you're really going to sit there and what momentum? I don't know, you know, because they had a cutesy little announcement. What was it, like 6 months ago or something like that? That the High Republic was coming out, little animated minute and a half thing. Lando, calm down, buddy. But like, I'm sure he is. But like, what momentum did they really have that the ending, as exactly as Sarah had mentioned, the ending of his show was going to affect?
Yeah.
Second to that, it's Star Wars. Shouldn't you be praising one another? Unless there is, in fact, a division inside that goddamn house. There's Lucas and there's Disney. There is the teachings and the teachings and the followings and the understanding with the respect to George Lucas's initial vision for Star Wars, and then you have this next level stuff, whatever. And then you're gonna sit there and turn around and expect a goddamn apology when, if anything, the Mandalorian has turned around public opinion about Disney Star Wars. Everyone was trashing on the sequel trilogy, saying they don't know what the hell is happening with it, which direction it's going. And then The Mandalorian, if anything, revitalized people's faith and trust in Star Wars because of the success that it has done. And then you have these new people that, to me, seem like they don't know what the fuck Star Wars is, and they're going to be trashing it. How
Yeah.
dare you have a good ending to your
And-
show? Because
And
it
they have to
affects
call
our
it
shit
good.
story.
They have to review it and call it good.
Now it comes time.
They have that.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you weren't pissed enough, I'm going to share one more thing with you. Okay?
Worse.
It gets worse. High Republic writer Justina Ireland is saying if you don't like her politics and you don't like her agenda in real life, you know what? She doesn't care. She says, don't buy High Republic stuff. She goes on to say, she's had worse jobs in writing for Lucasfilm and that they're always hiring at Starbucks anyway. On a similar note, Pablo Hidalgo, official, high-ranking official in Lucasfilm, and backer, one of the main backers for the High Republic, says Star Wars fans have always been shitty fans, and there you have it.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
You know what? I see this as a plus. I see this as a plus. People getting, the writers, and whoever greenlit this fucking
Nonsense.
shit, whatever, nonsense.
Tomfoolery.
Not only are they not taking the criticism that they're hearing to improve the story that they're going with, they're going to attack the people whom don't like it. And if anything, I think this further leads to a rehaul potentially of the leadership of what's going forward. Because if you're going to sit there and say, don't watch my story, don't read my story, don't buy my stuff, you won't. People won't, right? We've seen examples with this. I think it was a writer for Aquaman said something similar, and she got shit canned.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you're not just going to lose yourself a job, but you're going to, you're destroying. It's almost as if like you're destroying any hopes for what this has to go forward, which will call for like them to redo it or something. I don't know. Like,
scrap it.
that is some. They're toxic Star Wars fans, but that is some toxic shit. When you can't take the criticisms from fans, because who the hell is buying your shit? The fans. Who is going to continue your project going forward? The fans, because they're putting their money into it. If people don't buy your shit, you will not be continuing to write your shit. You will not have a job. If you're okay with giving away your dreams of writing a story with Lucasfilm in an aspirations to go work at a Starbucks, I mean that's cool that you're that confident in your material, and that's cool that you're willing to sacrifice your career, and not just a career with Star Wars, but potentially going forward, if that's the reception you're going to give to your criticism of the fans, that you're willing to completely change careers. Mission accomplished. We're going to see, how that pans out, because this stuff just got released recently, right? The novel.
Yes, this is very recent. Sarah, does this upset you? Okay.
I mean,
are you ready to get upset even more?
I'm like, what?
There's more.
Okay,
But
So
wait, there's
go
more.
ahead. I want to hear your thoughts, Sarah, and then I'm going to share some more with you.
inspiration from hell, man. Okay. Well, okay. I'm all for keeping your personal life and your work life separate, right? But if uh that chick can move along.
Just that. Yeah.
She can move along. And for Pablo Hidalgo, right?
Yes.
To call Star Wars fans shitty? I mean, who has supported Star Wars? Who buys the action figures? Who buys the stacks of books? Who buys, yeah, exactly, the fans make their money for them. Like, I know Disney funds that crap now, but the fans are what drives everything.
Yeah.
And to call that I know I'm a bad fan. Right? We've established this multiple times. But
But
I
you're
don't,
not a shitty
I'm
fan.
not a shitty fan. And I know there is toxic fans and people who say they're real fans and they just talk crap all day long about whatever they don't like. But there are people who are still in it, even though they don't like certain aspects. I mean, there's people like us who are still in it, right? We talk about our opinions of these things, but we still go watch them. We're reading this crappy book.
Thank you for saving me, by the way.
Oh no,
You
I mean,
know,
if that's the attitude that they're gonna have going into it,
mhm.
that makes me not want to read it. And
Yeah.
even though it is just one writer, and I mean, if you go to Half Price Books and you look at the Star Wars section, there's millions, well, not millions, but there's tons of writers writing these
Yeah.
individual books. So it's not just one person, and I know that that's that view, but still, that kind of ruined the entire series for me now, or the High Republic, whatever section of this thing that we're doing now.
That's a great segue into the next thing I was going to say, Sarah. I wonder if there's more going on at Disney than we think because I recently read an article. All right. So this is an excerpt from an interview with the author of Happy Place Living the Disney Park Life. The interviewer asks the author, a friend of mine who works at Disney mentions that she has heard pass holders referred to as pass holes by people who work at Disney parks. Does this really happen? The author says, absolutely. When you're in an elevator of the Haunted Mansion and you have people who, because they know all the words, decide that they're going to recite along with the song or the words, it's like, yeah, we get it. We know you're here all the time. And they're referred to as pass holes in the Disney parks by the workers. So I wonder if Disney needs, like Micah was referring to, a big kind of overhaul from top to bottom. Micah is without word. He is speechless. He's without speech.
I mean,
Oh, I could talk shit if you want me to.
I want y'all's reaction because that's now going outside of the scope of Star Wars, but still there's Star Wars stuff. I mean, they have a whole section of Disney Park Star Wars there as
right.
well, right? And the pass holders, annual pass holders who are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on getting into the park whenever they want to are being referred to as pass holes.
My opinion on something like that is I don't think that's necessarily an indictment of the people at the top, though, because if those are employees, those are workers, everyone has their own opinions. It might be a bad group, and that's not to say that people can't be assholes. Yes, customers can be assholes.
Oh, yeah.
These pass holders, pass holes, whatever, can in fact be assholes. Now, are they assholes for having a good time singing along with the song? I would say no.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we've seen plenty of situations where, depending upon where you go, like it always seemed like, and I've never been to Galaxy's Edge. I've never really been to any of these. I've been to a Disney park once, the one in Florida. It was at Disney World, you know, a long time ago. My opinion of that is that at least the surface level of the customer relations with the employees, like they're putting on a show for you, you know, like
Mhm.
this is a wonderful place. So it's not to say that that's not genuine, but I think the response to a couple people that obviously have made a catchy name for pass holders isn't necessarily an indictment of management or leadership. However, it can be an indictment of management if these employees feel like their job is so shit that they have to come down to shitting on the people they work for. But I wouldn't necessarily put that at the feet of one specific situation and a grouping of the friends, because if they're recanting something that's moderately catchy, I don't
Mhm.
know if I don't necessarily put that at the feet of the people at the top making decisions for new content kind of shit.
All right, Sarah, you agree or disagree?
Um, I agree.
Earthquake tapping right behind you.
All right, the last thing for you guys, and then we're probably going to get out of here. Since the new year, Star Wars official Instagram has sprinkled in with other stuff. They have one. Hold on, my screen went crazy there. Okay, so they have Hype the High Republic as of this new year. They have wished Kelly Marie Tran a happy birthday, who plays Rose Tico. They've honored Martin Luther King. They've hyped the High Republic again. They honored those who died of COVID-19, and they forgot to wish James Earl Jones a happy birthday, the voice
Oh.
of Darth Vader. And still to this day, uh, when they wished Kelly Marie Tran, I feel so bad for her. Instead of people wishing her a happy birthday because they have the birthday on the same day, pretty much, everybody was like, what about James Earl Jones? What about James Earl Jones? What about James Earl
Oh.
Jones? What about James Earl Jones? And official Star Wars Instagram still to this day hasn't apologized and said, "Hey, James Earl Jones, we're sorry we forgot your birthday. We wish you a belated birthday." Still has not done that.
Poor Kelly Marie Tran.
I know, right?
She already got so much crap on social media.
And they just kind of made it worse for
And
her.
they made it worse. And it's not her fault.
Yeah. So I don't know. So what do you guys think? So we're talking about another aspect of the Lucasfilm, Star Wars, Disney product, brand, whatever you want to say.
I mean, why not address it?
I don't know. What do you think, guys?
It's kind of unexplainable.
Yeah.
Like I could speculate into some conspiracy theories type shit, but to have that foul up and not to come back out, like
Mm-hmm. And have it brought up.
he may not be the voice of Star Wars, but I mean he may not be the face of Star Wars, but he is the goddamn voice of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, everyone can recognize who Darth Vader is, but his voice is just so iconic,
Yeah.
especially playing one of the most iconic villains of all time. The influence that Star Wars has had on pop culture and just regular relations
Mm-hmm.
today, even that it came out decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to just simply say, before it becoming a conspiracy theory, I would like to think that it was just a simple mistake. And yeah, that sucks for Kelly Marie Tran because she did face the social media backlash last time. That's not her fault, and now it seems that she's suffering that again at the helm of Star Wars. But to not come back out after the fact and try to kind of like what you said, Sarah Lewis, I'm not sure who said it. I'm sorry. To like we fudged up, we're sorry, but also we
Yeah.
like to because James Earl Jones like just turned what 90.
Yeah.
90. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to, God damn, I hate to say this, but he doesn't have many left. Are you just
Yeah.
waiting for him to become a legacy person? Like for him to pass before you give a shit? Is it because he is part of the old Star Wars that you don't care?
I'm going to tell you this much, guys, that if you go back and look, I believe that I don't know if it was an Instagram or the Twitter. I think it might have been Instagram.
That Twitter?
Uh,
The
or it might have been
Twitter.
Twitter or something like that. It was one of those social medias. There was two excerpts from that were deleted,
Hmm.
and I think they were the first two that said, "What about James Earl Jones?" So
Oh,
somebody that's running that official Star Wars page saw that,
deleted it.
deleted them, but then so many more came in. It's like you would have to sit there
It's
all
too
day to
many.
delete them.
Yeah.
It's too many. So somebody there didn't mess up or didn't forget. They just erased it. And then there was just too many that came in after the fact.
Oh.
So your conspiracy theory, Micah, whatever it might be, you might be right. Yes, so I'm sorry to end this on a sour note, but
No, you're
we
not.
we are we're regular fans. We're not insiders, we're not,
We're just people.
official. We're just regular fans talking all things Star Wars. And I think these kind of facts play a big role in how Star Wars is going to move forward. You know what I mean? And what's
Yeah.
going on with it right now. And I think it's important to talk about, you know what I mean? I think this is one of the reasons why we're going to like or dislike stories that they bring us in the future. You know what I mean? Some of these things that we talked about today, it's hard to stomach, and sometimes it's hard to gather words on what's going on. But I'll give you guys your last final thoughts on what we talked about today, and then either I or Sarah can do our outro
Oh, I'll do the
because
outro.
Tim left us.
Yeah, I think we should title this episode 85, but why?
I like it.
That's my closing
Wait, what's the name?
remark. But why?
Okay, text the group so I remember that.
Oh my god.
Yes, do it.
Just because there's just a lot of whys in my head right now.
hmm I think there's a lot of whys in a lot of fans' heads right now, Sarah.
Yeah.
Micah, any last thoughts?
I have hope, but it's diminishing.
hmm
Um, I have hope for stuff that they have going forward. Obviously, I love The Mandalorian. I think the hope that I need to refocus that on is them legit changing leadership, if that's what it is. Um, I know we've had this conversation back and forth. I don't particularly think Kathleen Kennedy is the one to bring Star Wars up to the next potential that it could be. Things that have happened under her reign and that continue to happen under her reign. And then if you legitimately have now representatives of Star Wars in some fashion, whether they're writers or people who are handling their PR, their
Yeah.
social media accounts, which is everything these days. If you have a distaste for the fans, if you can't honor your own employees that made Star Wars what it has become because you're trying to move into a new generation and you don't want to think about shit in the past, I don't know. That's troubling. I
Mhm.
think that's what's most troubling for me is because I'm not this whole cancel culture bullshit kind of thing. But when you can't respect the people that you're putting stuff out for, if you can't respect the people who've worked for you, there wasn't some conspiracy or there isn't some kind of controversy with James Earl Jones. He's the voice of Star Wars. And if you can't respect those little things, then there's a point where you have to make a decision like, I don't want to spend my money. I don't want to spend my time on you Because if you don't give a shit about us, then I don't give a shit about you.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's enough of a movement, there's enough of a choice. Again, I don't, I don't think I've ever been like, cancel these people. They need to be taken off of social media. This business needs to shut down. I don't subscribe to that. I don't like that as a general thing for a lot of reasons. But I do believe in the power of voice, the power of a wallet. If you don't want my money, you don't deserve it, and I'm not going to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
If that is a legitimate thing going forward, and this is only the beginning, this is only what the last couple weeks,
Mm-hmm.
something needs to change. Period. And if that is new leadership, then God damn it, bring out new leadership.
Yeah.
Because that's not. I can't think that that's what they want. That at the very least, that's what they want to show. And I don't think that's what Star Wars is. You know.
Yeah.
So I hope
Well,
I
Was.
hope that they at least recognize these problems, and someone with power and I guess the stomach can be like, okay, you fix this shit now, or I'll fix it for you.
yeah. Well, I guess, my final thoughts on this, guys, is that, man, I'm curious how people haven't been announced that they were fired
Yeah.
or stopped, right? Secondly, um, is
Lewis,
that
do
yes,
you have the dates on those statements? Do you know when?
I can go back and give it to you. So today
Okay.
we're actually January 22nd, 2021
Mm-hmm.
at 12:40 in the afternoon. These statements have been made over the past since the beginning of the year. So over the last two
Like
and a half
20.
to 3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very recent.
Hmm.
Very recent. Um, As a matter of fact, I took a little bit of time off of social media. I told Micah and Tim last time because I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do some really hardcore research on the High Republic, what's going on in Lucasfilm, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Because I think it's important moving forward. And this is my closing statements on this podcast today. It feels like we're going on a down note, but I was a big proponent, and you guys can attest to this, that I had the feeling, and I've made the statement, guys, there is no Disney Star Wars and there's no George Lucas Star Wars. It's just Star Wars. Okay, guys, let's get over it. It's all Star Wars. And now, January
It's
20th,
clear.
it is crystal clear that there is, whether it's a civil war, I doubt it's like inner fighting or anything, but I do think there is a different kind of mentality in two different factions within the Lucasfilm, where this is Disney Star Wars, this is classic Star Wars, and they're not playing well with the fans.
With each
One
other.
side isn't, or with each other. So I'm kind of scared to see where this is headed. But those are my thoughts on what we talked about today. I think next time when we come back on our next episode, we'll probably get into chapters 3 and 4 of the High Republic. I think we should also talk a little bit about, maybe I can get you dates on these statements, Sarah.
Yeah. I
So we
mean,
can be,
as
more
as
official on it.
yeah. I mean, as long as it's like, I mean, we have like a general time, I guess.
Yeah, and then going into it, attacking fans. I don't know if you guys know who Star Wars Theory is, and his and Pablo Hidalgo's interactions on the interwebs.
Mhm.
We'll probably get into that. Star Wars Theory has, I think, over 2 million subscribers on YouTube. He's the one that did the Star Wars fan film where Disney. Uh, I guess they kind of like banned him, blocked him, or
Yeah.
copyrighted and whatever. So him and Pablo Hidalgo had a beef, and it got pretty ugly. So we'll probably talk about those two things. Hopefully, the High Republic Chapter 3 and Chapter 4 get better, and we
Yeah.
can end on a high note on our next podcast. Sarah says no. Micah has
I smile.
no emotion. But Sarah, you want to wrap us up here today?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
This has been episode 85 of the Force Choke podcast.
84.
84, dang it. All right. 84. We are the council. We have a YouTube. We have a Spreaker. We have a iHeartRadio. We
We
have
have
many
speaker
things.
here in America.
No, Spreaker, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Freaker.
Spreaker. We have those things, so check us out on there. We also have Facebook and Instagram and TikTok sometimes. So if you want to check out our opinions and antics, go there.
Yes.
And even though we are very disheartened, the council has spoken. Bye-bye.